Hey, folks. I'm so scared right now. Oh no, the beach! Calm down. Okay, so before we get to the video proper, I do, as always, have to give a big thank you to those of you who shared last week's video over on Twitter, at Janeme, at Ye Old Ingies, at Matt87Eagle, at DarkfirePlayer4, at Morgan Boyer Poet, at No For Nothing, at Anime Lover 2427, at Sirius9752, at Morgan Romero, and at Kisachan94. Thank you all so much for sharing last week's video over on Twitter, everybody, and if you too would like to have your name shouted out in next week's FruBa video, then be sure to share this video around on the internet, and then tag me at JoJo Talks Much over on Twitter, and I will be sure to shout out the first 5 of you in next week's video. Now, with all that said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Nervous. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Okay, so again, I've said this before, but in the lead up to season 2, and in like the premiere of season 2, everybody was like, JoJo, you ain't ready. My boy, you ain't ready. The beach is coming. The beach. And you guys have heard me scream, what about the beach? What's gonna happen on the beach? I've been freaking out about it for a while now, but the last few episodes have kind of soothed that a little bit. You know, I've been feeling a little bit more calm about things, a little bit more collected. That was a ruse that the show has fooled me into a false sense of security because unfortunately, Momiji accidentally kickstarted Ragnarok and didn't even mean to. My precious boy, my precious bean Momiji. He didn't mean it. He didn't know that he's giving me a damn heart attack. Like when he jumped in and scared Toru, and Toru's like, oh, you scared me. I'm like, yeah, you scared me too, Momiji. That was weird. And then he immediately is like, let's go to the beach, let's go get away. And I was like, oh no, they say what they're gonna say. And I don't know what they're gonna say though, because it's the beach and I'm scared. And I'm all flustered. I can't even, my references aren't even all that great today. And I'm just all, I'm so scared. What's gonna happen? I'm so nervous. I have so many worries, especially that this episode put in front of me like, Shigure, what are you doing, Shigure? But okay, calm down. Okay, I'm not blaming Momiji. He did this out of the goodness of his heart. I don't want to see anybody blaming my boy for kickstarting Ragnarok. I don't even know what you would call the Fruits Basket version of Ragnarok, but like he accidentally kickstarted the apocalypse by accident. I can only hope that the gang cancels the apocalypse. There we go, reference game back on point. Let's go ahead and talk about parts of the episode that were a little bit more pleasant than anything else, and then we'll get into some of the stuff that I'm concerned about. But let's go ahead and start with the nice stuff, the good character building stuff, the good stuff for Yuki and Kyo, because Yuki and Kyo take center stage in terms of the positive stuff in regards to this week's episode. Let's actually go ahead and start with Yuki. So the Yuki subplot throughout the episode, Yuki's little character beats throughout each little moment that he gets in said episode, they're all kind of start from the same place where Yuki, he's in Toru's room, him and Momiji. They're helping Toru get one quick cram session in before they go away to go to the summer house. Yuki, of course, has already done most of his summer homework. Toru apparently hasn't even started, which is very Toru. And another thing that is very much like Toru is for her to hold on to a specific item just because it means a little bit of something to her. It's got sentimental value. And in this case, the thing that Yuki sees in Toru's room is the hat. And I freaked out because I forgot that the hat was even a thing. So when I saw it, I was just like, oh, this is fun. Yuki and Toru, like, getting one last cram session. It's probably going to be a comedy beat. And oh my God, it's the hat. Like, I was like, whoa, like, just the build up to it. And then I realized, like, okay, does Yuki remember? Because Toru doesn't, but Yuki very clearly remembers. And I'm like, ooh, I get the shivers, because I couldn't remember if Yuki remembered or not. Like, I couldn't even remember if the boy remembered, because I knew that Toru definitely didn't. I thought for a little while that it was Kyo. I remember thinking that it was Kyo who the hat belonged to, but no, it was Yuki after all, as this episode lets us know. And it's interesting to me that not only like would Toru hold on to this hat for as long as she has, because that's the thing, right? Because like in any other show I'd be like, wow, that's kind of a MacGuffin. but the show has demonstrated who Toru is as a character, to the point where her holding on to a hat for years just because it was some boy who she met when she was young gave her the hat and was cool to her, like, helped her out. Like, she never forgot, and so she held on to that hat as a memento to remember that boy by. Like, that, in any other character, I'd be like, no way would they do that. But with Toru, like, yes, I 100% believe that Toru would do that because she's our precious bean. But Toru doing that has already been well established as part of her character. Like, she is very sentimental. To a fault. Again, we'll get into that in my concerning stuff, but yeah, Yuki. Toru holding onto the hat doesn't surprise me. Yuki having trouble telling Toru that it's him also doesn't surprise me, because again, the show has perfectly set up these characters where even if there's like some sort of like moment where you're like, just tell her, it doesn't feel contrived. It feels like it's actually acting within these characters. Like, it makes sense for these characters to not say specific things that could maybe fix the situation very quickly. But with Yuki and Toru, I just believe that they would be in that situation because that's the characters that they've set up. And Yuki, my precious boy, my boy Yuki, that scene with him at the end where he's like not feeling all that great, and he reaches over for Toru and he just kind of like lightly like picks a piece of her hair, right? Like, he just lightly holds a piece of her hair up, and he says like, listen, I got something I have to tell you. And I was like, oh, is he gonna tell her now? But he's like, but not quite yet. And I'm like, of course not. But because he's sick, again, like, he's sort of delirious. We've seen this from Yuki before, where he says a little bit more than normal when he's not feeling all that great. We saw that back in season 1 when he wasn't feeling super great. And so, again, perfectly well suited within the characters. And Yuki got me feeling some kind of way when he started talking like that. Like, Yuki, like, I was like, I don't ship it, but like, you're making me want to. And the fact that Toru acts like a light in Yuki's life, he's lit up the pitch black that Akito said that he lived in. And if Akito is the darkness that surrounds these characters, Toru is the light. And like, that is so evident in that scene. And like, they outright spell out the symbolism in that moment, but I don't care because it was brilliantly handled. And my god, kudos to Yuki Seiyu. Nobunaga Shimizaki just crushes it as Yuki in this episode. He's so good. He's always good, but in this episode, he is particularly good. So is Kyo's actor too. You know, Uchida's still on his A game. But like, Kyo just didn't have as much dramatic stuff to do in this episode as Yuki did. And Kyo, though, like, even though he didn't have as much to do, Kyo, they really make every moment with Kyo count. They really establish this early on in the episode, and then it kind of comes back around later on. At the early moments of the episode, when Momiji's like running around like, we're going to the beach, we're gonna just destroy JoJo's heart, it's gonna be so fun. He's running around to all the different rooms and like telling everybody like, you should totally come with us. And he goes to Kyo, and I'm expecting Kyo to give him like a hard time. And he does, don't get me wrong. Like, he hits my boy, like, stop hitting my boy. But Kyo says like you're too much right now. And he's like, oh, come on, we're gonna go, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, it's not, like, I didn't say that I'm not going, I don't have energy for you right now, of course I'm going. And Momiji says like, you've gotten nicer. And that kind of got me a little bit. I don't know why that got me as much as it did, but it really sort of caught me off guard, because I was like, yeah, I never really thought about it that much, like, after season 1, but yeah, Kyo has gotten a hell of a lot nicer. You notice it in little ways too, and they actually like really do an excellent job at describing the fact that there's little quirks to each individual person that sort of give you a tell as to how they're feeling. Even if they seem normal, it can just be something a little bit off, and it tells you that they're either growing or they're retreating. And Kyo in this episode is very much growing as a person, as he has been throughout season 2. Whereas Toru in this episode is sort of like retreating inward because of something that Hiro said. And, okay, Hiro is... Listen, I'm sure people want me to, like, destroy Hiro for being mean to Toru, because I was not exactly kind to Hiro in the past. But if you've been keeping up with the Season 2 videos, you will know that I have changed my opinions on Hiro. And I honestly, listen, like, he's a little shit. He is, don't get me wrong. I know. I know. But he's trying. Like, he is trying. He doesn't really get it. He's a lot more analytical than the other characters are. He's a lot more cold than the other characters are. And not in a way that makes him, like, a bad person. It's just he's a kid, and he's also smarter than your average kid, so he's sort of caught between both worlds, and he's trying to figure himself out. And so he says to Toru, like, you got a serious mom complex. Like, you're always talking about your mom this, mom that. You always talk about your mom, but you never talk about your dad. Like what's going on with you? And Toru is sort of caught off guard by that, and she just sort of laughs it off and runs away. And Kisa just blasts him for this, like, lets him have it. And in fairness, like, yeah, he kind of needed to hear that. And don't get me wrong, I'm never gonna be like there's like my boy is perfect and blah blah blah. Like, no, Hiro has issues, you know, like there's stuff with Hiro that makes me feel complex feelings about Hiro, but at the same time, I recognize that this boy is trying. Give this boy a chance. And I'm especially yelling at past me, you're too harsh on these characters. You let this boy be, you just let Hiro be. He's trying his best. He will work on it. And you can tell that in the way that he even tries to be nice to Toru later on in the episode as like sort of an apology without apologizing. Hiro, I feel like because I've seen this character grow and I kind of have an idea of what makes him tick, I'm a little bit nicer to him now than I was back when he was introduced in Season 1. Hiro throwing Toru off her game, though, is where we get to my concerns for next episode and the foreseeable future. I don't even know how long this whole beach arc thing is going to go for, but I'm scared because now Toru is not at her strongest emotionally because Hiro has sort of like thrown that into whack. Again, not his fault. In the same way that you can't yell at Momiji for accidentally kickstarting Ragnarok, you can't blame Hiro for accidentally crippling our best character emotionally. Who is the most equipped to battle Akito. She is now emotionally not as strong as she would be. This is very like shonen-y, now that I think about it, just with emotions instead. But it's, yeah, I'm concerned because now she's not at the strength that she normally has emotions-wise. Toru is shaken. She's thinking about her mom more and not in like the usual way that she does think of her. Like usually when she thinks of Kyoko, it's usually more of like a like an empowering thing. But now it's more of like, because she says that line like we're always together, and you can tell like that's how she feels, but it's a little bit shaken. She feels a little bit more distant from her mom now. In this moment, it will go back to the way it was, I assume, but I don't know, you could just feel how shaken she was. Even Kyo says, like, she's trying, like, something's different about her, and Hiro remarks, like, she's trying really hard to be positive. It's kind of clear that it's, like, a little bit, Toru's always positive, but this is, like, a little bit much, even for Toru, so you can tell, like, she's not really feeling at her best. And then there's the other two things that freaked me out this episode. Let's go ahead and talk about Shigure. My Shigure, my trifling swine of a husband of mine. Oh, that rhymed. I didn't even mean for it to. Shigure, what are you doing? What are you doing? What was that scene with Rin? Explain this to me. Explain it to me so I can understand why you are doing the things you are doing. Why did Rin show up? Why was she hiding? I guess because like my best assumption is because she didn't want to see Haru because of what she was about to do next. Was Rin hitting on Shigure? Was she coming on to him? It looked like she was about to kiss him. Am I going insane? Like, that's what it looked like. And Shigure didn't exactly look like he was gonna stop it from happening, which is like all kinds of yikes. Shigure, I don't know what Shigure is the most like difficult to read character in the show because I don't know what this man's endgame is, and it makes him very concerning. Everything with Shigure, because there's two Shigures, right? There's the happy, plucky-go-lucky Shigure, and then there's the Shigure where, and you can tell which Shigure you're dealing with because of the mood lighting. If it's like a bright scene, then you get usual happy Shigure, the Shigure that I love. And then if the mood is dark and you have shadows cast over Shigure's eyes, you're dealing with dark Shigure, and Shigure with master plans. plans that we don't know about. Everybody else is playing checkers, this man playing chess. And I don't know what he's doing, but I'm scared. I don't like Rin potentially trying to shoot Haru through the heart emotionally. I don't like Shigure like being like all mysterious and shit with Rin. It really concerns me. I'm worried about Rin too. Like, I don't know how this is gonna affect her emotionally. And then let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. So Akito's going to the beach house. What's gonna happen? I'm so scared, because like when they showed Akito, I'm like, oh, Akito's sick? Good, screw that guy. And then Akito's like, you know what? Like, I should, like, all those stupid idiots and that ugly girl. And I'm like, listen, Akito, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, my dude. You are the sickliest, ugliest looking dude in this show. But, and I don't just mean appearance-wise, I mean, like, your very soul is disgusting. So maybe you shouldn't be talking about my girl with such harsh language, fuckface. Language, I know, sorry. But as I have that thought, I can't help but panic when Akito says, like, maybe I should go teach them a lesson. Maybe I should bring them back down. Everybody is just my playthings. Akito's on his Thanos shit right now. And Shigure's inviting it. Like, Shigure says, like, sure, why don't you come with me to the vacation house? Let's go, come with me. And they get all weird and close, and I'm like, Shigure, what are you doing? Like, I thought you liked Toru. I thought you liked these people. What is your plan? Why don't I know? I'm scared, but I'm intrigued. I'm mostly scared, but I'm also a lot intrigued. All right, with that said, everybody, I'm gonna wrap up my thoughts here. There's gonna be so much editing in this video because I went on so many, like, just screaming tangents. I probably have to tone it down for the video so I don't hurt anybody's eardrums. Question of the day today, are you scared? Are you as scared as I am? Let me know in the comments. And with that said, we've reached the end of the video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then don't forget to boop the up snoot and share if you care. And if you want to see me rambling even more, then feel free to follow me on Twitter or join our good folks Discord, both of which are linked in the doobly-doo. Lastly, if you're feeling generous, consider checking out our Patreon page to help support this channel. Speaking of which, I'd like to give a big thank you to our lovely patrons, such as Zevi, Alex, Andrew W, Branson C, Calvin A, Crowbar of Irony, Daniel G, Deep Not That Deep, Digger the Fox, Dominic G, Emily, Ionos, Urza, Genkotaku, Godzilla Fan, No For Nothing, Maria T, Marshall B, Mater, Mirth Mouser, Nymad, Cell, Shadow Creative, Stephen G, The Suavest Orange, Tristan G, and Verdon. Thank you all so much for your continued support over on Patreon, and once again, thank you for checking out today's video. Hope you guys have a lovely day, and until next time, you stay classy, AnyTube, and wash your dang hands.